Wrong game. There. Much better.
Well, this is a high altitude circuit and can put some strain on the cars, and it is quite a technical circuit as well. You can see high amounts of overtaking going on, and also known for having some changeable conditions, but from what I've seen from the forecast, it's due to be a sunny day. Yeah, off to the starting line. Hearing some that Mac's a little bit quiet at the moment, but we'll hopefully get him to bump his volume up. But we're about to go at the Brazilian Grand Prix here at Interlagos. And away we go, and it's a great start from the first row of the grid. It's one of the Renaults taking the lead, but around the outside, coming up the inside into turn one, it looks to be Sebastian Vettel up into first position. So Sebastian Vettel has taken the lead by the looks of things, and they're all trying to sort themselves out. And that's one of the Renaults taking second place. Is it Sebastian? Well, it was a Sebastian, all right. Indeed, that is a ridiculously good start from Sebastian Loeb. I think maybe some sort of investigation for illegal turbo might be going on after this race with such a start. But through to the Ferradura section on this first lap, as we currently look to one of the Simtex. This is Sebastian Loeb in the Sauber. Now, I wonder how long this lead's going to last. Is he going to stretch the gap, or when everyone's sorted themselves behind, is that gap going to come down? As it stands at the moment, it's 2 seconds as we come towards the end from Michael Schumacher, as we come to complete lap 1. And under pressure, that is Rinus VK in the Renault, who's got one of the Minardis all over the back of him. And coming in, and that's Hakkinen at the inside of VK in turn 1. So through goes Mika Hakkinen on VK. That puts him up into 3rd position. And through, that's one of the BARs. So Porsche through. And it is still Sebastian Loeb from Michael Schumacher.
Indeed.
And that's Hakkinen having a slight lock-up potentially. Losing it as they come up towards Zheng Chao.
Is that what the corner is called?
Yeah, Zheng Chao, the junction. It's the corner just coming up just before they come up the hill. Still Schumacher in the Brabham. Hunting down, we've got 2.
They're both Jordans fighting out in the center ices.
Yeah, and they're tripping each other up now. There's one of the McLarens coming in to join the battle.
Still no change for position, or maybe, as we see Magnussen trying to have a look, but doesn't make it stick. But one of the Jordans made it stick.
Yeah, the 2 Jordans still scrapping for position, and that's quite a large gaggle of cars fighting for the same bit of tarmac there.
Oh, for sure.
On board with Schumacher, and it looks like he's potentially closed a little bit on Sebastian Loeb ahead.
I still can't believe this launch he still managed to get, like, Loeb.
Indeed, and obviously from the 2nd or 3rd row of the grid he was on for that, and again Loeb actually looking fairly comfortable in that position as we look to Kimi Räikkönen, who's sussing out one of the Renaults.
Yep. Is he gonna go for it? Quite late, but he made it stick. Lando Norris does the same thing on another Renault.
So Renault's not particularly having the best of turn 1s on this current lap, as both have been mugged.
Yep. I wonder what their new team principal will say about that.
Indeed, as we look to, well, both Lotuses actually squabbling over a Renault. Incidentally, the Lotus is running, as we joked about before, the Lotus is running the Renault engines, where the Renault team running the Mechachrome engines.
Yep. You mean Brabham? Or no, you don't run the Renaults, don't you?
Well,
oh yeah, never mind. You do.
Anyway, the gap between it's old sparring partners really now, isn't it? Between Schumacher and Hakkinen for 2nd and 3rd.
What do you think the pit strategies will be?
Well, we saw last time out we saw a 2-stop strategy. We had Piastri, who failed to make the 1-stop strategy work.
Speaking of which,
as we looked at Piastri going up the inside of, I believe that was Fernando Alonso.
That was indeed Alonso.
Into turn 1.
As we see Marcello making a move on one of the Renaults, I believe.
Yep,
That's
he's having a go.
Magnussen.
Yep, and this time does make the move stick. Struggled the last time round, but it's
Indeed, and oh, that's Rosenqvist off.
Rosenqvist having another off. It wasn't a particularly great Australian Grand Prix.
No.
Last time out. Obviously, he was taken out in the early stages, and this time he's taken himself out.
Yep. And I think he beached it. That doesn't look it's gonna go anywhere.
It's well, he's
And
having another one. That's Piastri out.
2 cars out on the same lap. Jeez.
So Piastri in the Onyx after what was a good race last time out in Australia, unable to repeat that this time out in Brazil.
So one retired due to skill issue, and the other retired due to transmission issues.
Indeed, and again, not another race to forget for Rosenqvist, and on to the next.
Oh, that's Magnussen! Oh
so
no!
Magnussen out of the race, and what was the reasoning behind this retirement?
That is unclear. I'm sure we'll get a replay of it, hopefully, unless the team director screws over. As we see, Brabham making a move on the Tyrrell and chasing down one of the other Onyx cars.
Indeed, and so Verstappen still, struggling a bit with this car.
Oh, here we go. Let's just see. I don't know. There's the replay. I think there must have been some kind of transmission problem.
Yeah, there's no puffs of smoke to say that the engine's gone, so I'd agree with you there. Looks like a transmission issue.
Or maybe it was their turbo who blew up. Who knows?
So we look to Damon Hill, who's holding off the Brabham of Christensen and the Tyrrell of Verstappen. As we were saying, Verstappen being stuck towards the back of the grid, not the sort of place we'd expect to see him.
Yeah, you can always think, as we see Cassidy trying to make a move on one of the Renaults. Doesn't make it stick. Yeah, like we said, you can think of Australia, only a one-time thing, but no, 2 times in a row? Is this something we will have to anticipate for the season, with him being poor in qualifying?
Oh well, again, and obviously his lesser experienced, in terms of single-seater racing, teammate Shane Van Gisbergen, again managing to wrestle that car a bit further up the grid than the more experienced 3-time world champion.
Indeed. Well, I guess the joke still goes on with, throw him at any car and he can drive it fast.
Well, indeed. He can drive a NASCAR fast, he can drive a V8 supercar fast, and obviously same goes for a Formula 1 car.
Yeah. I also heard he can drive into the neighbor's mom quite fast as well. What? As we see Palou, who substitutes for George Russell, trying to make a move on one of the Lotuses. Is that Alonso, I believe? Yes, it is.
Alonso going into the center S, and it almost looked like job done, but Alonso toughs it out around the outside.
Should have taken the tighter line, but maybe then maybe he would have gotten a bad exit.
And that looked like I don't know if that's one of the other Lotuses of Marcello's flowing there, but he had both from McLaren swarming around him, and it's Verstappen makes a move up the inside of Hill.
And awesome, so he do make up some positions. Bear in mind he gained 3 positions due to 3 retirements, but hey, positions gained are positions gained.
But still, if we have Sebastian Loeb leading the Grand Prix. Now, earlier I did say it looked like the gap was coming down, but it looks like Loeb has actually managed to extend the gap to Schumacher this time round. We'll see if anything pops up. It's a 2.4 second gap, so he's pretty much keeping it the same. He's extended by a few tenths here and there. But Sebastian Loeb, wasn't really expecting to see him running this far up. So here we are as we look to the two McLarens.
Ooh, squeezing right into the wall.
Yep, Leclerc showing his teammate Norris the wall there, and this could get a bit tasty between the two McLarens.
Oh,
Currently, Norris leading the championship at the moment, and McLaren leading the constructors after one Grand Prix.
Pretty much. Again with 0 points. Because reasons.
And, wow, obviously, it looks like Norris is the fastest of the two here, and Leclerc's holding them up.
Maybe. Back to the Michael.
So, Schumacher still not running as fast as Loeb through the speed trap by the looks of things there. So that's potentially where he's losing a bit of time.
Potentially. Then again, he is not the same Michael as we knew him for, what is it, 20 years ago, approximately.
Well, you know, yeah, he is in his 50s now and a bit past his prime. Yeah, so you know, we'll let him off for that one as we look to Piastri, I believe that is, on the back of Alonso.
Yeah, and with the sim tech of Palou trying to make a move, and has a BAR on his gearbox as well.
Sorry, I said Piastri, he's already out the race.
Yeah. Yep.
The helmet design of Palou's seems to be quite similar.
It's a bit similar, but eh. But, oh, not quite. Defending well, your driver.
Indeed, and that's why I employed him. But still, the two McLarens going hammer and tong through this middle sector.
I wonder if the team principal will start to calling team orders.
Well, I don't think the team principal at this moment in time has much control of things by the looks of things, and it definitely could end up in tears one way or another.
Yep, as we go back to Loeb, sorry.
Who is still extending the gap. He's now brought it out to put 2.7 seconds, so generally lapping a couple of attempts a lap quicker than Schumacher as we go to the two McLarens, and obviously where they've been messing around with each other, that's allowed the Lotus of Marcello back onto them.
So will he be able to capitalize on their fighting? Maybe, as he seems to get a better run on from the Senna SS.
Indeed. The McLaren does seem to be a stronger car in the straight compared to the baguette-powered Lotus. But again, Norris is having a look, and he goes through. So Norris is through, and does that allow Marcello through on Leclerc? No, it does not. But that's exactly what Norris wants to see, and that's going to allow him to get away as Marcello has a look at Leclerc.
Brilliant defense from Leclerc, just putting the car where he needs to be, just to, yeah, block.
Indeed.
But now the question is that will we see Norris extend the gap to Leclerc or not?
Oh, based on the pace of Norris, it does seem like he's probably got a few attempts in hand over Leclerc. So I would expect to see some form of a gap start to appear soon. It's whether or not Leclerc's able to recover from the squabbling and, you know, dispatch of the Lotus of Marcello, or is Marcello going to get through on Leclerc now? And as we look and cut towards Marcello, having a look up from the inside of Senna S's, and through goes Marcello. Is it? Yes.
It's
so
true.
Marcello on Leclerc.
Brilliant.
Look to Lewis Hamilton. We haven't seen much of Hamilton this race, and
Lock up from Schumacher there.
Yeah. So it seems like even though we haven't seen much of Hamilton this race, we will continue to see much of Hamilton this race as we go to the Brabham. Obviously, Schumacher trying as hard as he can to catch Sebastian Loeb.
Maybe he not. he might need to use his head in order to, you know, think of, you know, where can I put my car to, you know, decrease the gap or whatever.
Well, yeah, and again, I think he's probably in a weird situation where he is racing against an opponent he wouldn't have necessarily thought he'd be having to race against. Loeb, one of the obviously well known for his rallying, and spent a little bit of time out in World Touring Cars, but didn't really prove himself much in that. As we look to Pato Award looking at the inside of Fernando Alonso.
Great move. Doesn't put that up much of a fight.
Indeed, and obviously this potentially points to what strategies people are running. Some of the slower cars, or cars that you expect to be going faster right now, may be running a higher fuel load. They might be going long into this current pit window.
As we see, he almost makes a pass on the Alonso, the two old McLaren rivals.
Indeed, and obviously definitely no love lost between this pairing here. Hamilton and Alonso, and actually Alonso starting to form a bit of a train behind the car. We also see both one of the Brabhams and both Tyrrells, so Verstappen's managed to catch up onto the back of this group here as well.
Yep. I just got the notification that the team principal of Jordan feels the epic as we see one of this, I believe that's a Simtek who blew up.
That was definitely looked to be a Simtek in the background.
Yes, Palou. Oh no. On his debut, he ends up on this, well, out of the race.
Out of the race, and obviously George Russell will be back in the car next time out, and it's an engine failure as we expected.
I've never seen that before. Where are they taking? Who's controlling the crane? That was strange.
Anyway.
Anyway, yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, the Jordan team principal says that it's an epic fight between between Schumacher and Loeb. How many championships do they have between them? Is it 16?
I could, well, without crunching the numbers, I wouldn't be able to tell off the top of my head.
It's 16 you have. Wait, it's 9 plus 7. Yeah, that is 16.
Quick maths.
Quick math. Damn it, you were too fast to the yoke.
Anyway.
Anywho, as we see, Hakkinen still in third.
Yeah, and just kind of pottering along really. He's got a 2.5 second gap to Sebastian Vettel. And Vettel in the remaining Simtek. Obviously, as we know, it's a potential race-winning car from what George Russell showed last time out, and obviously that will depend on what strategy he's on. He's still within a chance of the win here.
Well, as they say, in order to what's the saying? Is it in order to win you must first finish or something like that?
Somewhat along those lines, I think. In order to finish first you must finish.
First you must finish. Yes, thank you. Look at as we see him focusing. Those are the eyes of someone who really, is cool. And
well. I think I need to go. I need to go to the opticians because I just see some sort of blurry Schweppes sponsorship over the visor. But
I don't. We might need a new lens for the cameras, as we see a replay of Palou.
Yeah. So that is the engine failure that we spoke about earlier.
Yep. Classic. But what do you expect? It's a relatively higher altitude circuit and high temperatures as well.
Indeed, and that puts extra pressure on the engines, and so yeah, they don't really like, you know, these are like fine fit stallions, racehorses. They want to be ran in perfect conditions, and today at Interlagos it's not necessarily the ideal conditions for a high performance racing engine.
Not at all. They prefer it when it's colder and some cases even more wet, but then the drivers won't enjoy it as much.
Some drivers prefer the wetter conditions, you know. Some say it is a leveler of the field when it comes to the wet conditions.
Oh yeah, true. Actually, when I think about it, the more I think about it, if there had been some rain today, I don't think we would have seen much of a difference, since we have Rainmeister in second place, as we see Pat O'Ward trying to make a move on one of the McLarens. I think that's Leclerc. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
it is.
Leclerc obviously struggling with that car today in comparison to his teammate Lando, who's just disappeared up the road now. Now he's managed to get past Leclerc. Leclerc, bit of a roadblock for Lando in that early stages of the race.
Yeah, I wonder what the debrief will be like.
I'm sure that Michael Gillespie will be having some words with Leclerc, because potentially with the pace of Lando, that's possibly cost them either the attempt of a podium or a possible race win today.
Yeah. Again, a race win that could award him minus 50 points, but hey, points are points in the end.
Points don't necessarily mean prizes.
That is true. Yeah. I wonder what Lando thinks of Leclerc at the moment. Is he stupid or just no?
I don't know. I mean, Leclerc is as Norris is having a look at VK into turn 1, the 10RS. Yep, we cut away at the wrong point. But
again, I sacked the TV director from Straya and hired a new one, and apparently this guy doesn't do a good job either.
I mean, I think you need to check up on your vetting agency, because yeah, that's another doozy.
Yep. Still, we have a long way to go as we see Verstappen trying to make a move on. That's a paddle award in the pits. Was that scheduled, or do you think it was unplanned?
I'm not sure. I mean, with some a possible 3-stop, maybe a 2 or 3 stop, maybe. But we'll see. We'll see, because obviously Award the only one in the pits at the moment.
Lap 90. It's a bit too early for a 3-stopper. If we only have 70, if the race is only if the race is 72 laps, and he pits on lap 19, that won't go to the end. Assuming they are all equal, like stints, equal length stints.
Potentially. Now this is going to be an issue for Schumacher, actually, because he's managed to come out in front of Award, who's just pitted. So Schumacher's lapped Award, but Award clearly has the pace on the fresher tyres. Interesting to see that those tyres are fired up as quick as they have, actually.
Oh yeah, those indeed. Maybe it's something with Goodyear has come up with, which Bridgestones haven't.
It would be interesting to see. Obviously, tyre warming technology, always the buzzwords nowadays.
Tell that to Pirelli.
Well, you know, it can run without the tyre warmers. It would be more entertaining.
Blah 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 blah. It's the same thing every year. As we take a look, jump back to Häkkinen, I believe.
Raikkonen, I think that
Raikkonen,
was.
sorry. And then to Loeb, I think Loeb has one of the most boring races of all.
Well, he's now extended that lead to Schumacher out to 4.5 seconds, so he's doubled his lead now. I think looking in the background, it looked like a ward has managed to get through on Schumacher, so that's potentially slowed Schumacher up a little bit.
But will it slow up award anything? I mean, with the blue flag rules. As we take a look at Verstappen trying to make a move on the other Brabham.
Tom Christensen and
Brown.
Mr. Lamont not letting through Verstappen there.
Nope. Back on board. Will they try it again? Oh, Mr. Lamont is really squeezing in. Defending for all his life.
Well, it seems, obviously, Verstappen has that race pace, but the people he's come, the old challengers that he's coming up against, they're definitely quite strong on the defensive side of things.
Yep. Hot take, I think he's relying too much on DRS, and that's why he can't overtake as well.
Ah, yes, because there is no DRS here.
What is the event? Some kind, as I think Brundle said it himself, that it is just a band-aid for overtaking.
Indeed. And, well, we've seen plenty of people pull off overtakes, including Verstappen himself, this race, but depending on who you're up against, and the car you're up against as well, the car you're in, it affects how you manage to make that overtake work, which is one of the reasons why we bought DRS in so many years ago.
Understeer from low, but is the tire starting to fail, you think?
Well, it's starting to get late into that stint, and the tyres were already starting to cry a little bit. It's you do require a lot on the front end of the circuit, a lot of heavy braking, a lot of tight, sharp corners, especially during that middle sector of the lap.
Yeah, with the, what do you call it, like the squiggly bit? I don't know the actual corner name, so...
Oh, from Ferradura all the way around to Vico de Pato.
That's it. We pretend I know what it is. But then you have this final back straight, and then you need all of the rear end.
Indeed, and this is where the horsepower really helps. Obviously, the teams with not mass, there isn't really much in it between them all at this early stage of the season, but upgrade windows aren't too far away.
No. As with my inside knowledge, I think there should be an upgrade window after Buenos Aires, which will be the next race on the South American continent.
Indeed, and another hot or potential hot Grand Prix will be next in Buenos Aires.
Yep, and again, potentially very wet.
Yeah, I think a lot of the race fans out there enjoy a wet Grand Prix because it can really throw the cat amongst the pigeons.
Mm-hmm. There hasn't been as many incidents this time around, unlike in Straya.
No, there hasn't, and it still is kind of like Straya. In fact, as we see now, that is Loeb. Is he catching someone, or is that a Ward that's managed to get through?
I think that's a Ward that's just through. But did he get? Did he pass Loeb or did he not?
Well, I assume he would have passed Loeb at some point, which could have hindered Loeb's progress. The gap is now over 5 seconds between Loeb and Schumacher.
Was it lost the second to award if it is him, like who overtook him?
Indeed, and the gap between Schumacher and Häkkinen's kind of staying the same. It's around 2.5 seconds.
Yes. Lap 24.
Still, actually, Loeb's pitting, so Loeb's just pitting.
Oh. That's a. Will that be a two-stopper? Lap 24.
Yeah, lap 24, I'd say that would be signs of a two-stop strategy right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it makes sense. Lap 24, then lap 48, as Raikkonen also jumps into the pits.
Indeed now, is Raikkonen going to make a little bit of a undercut against those around him?
Including his teammate, and not. But hey, the pit from Loeb will put Michael back on lead. Well, provisionally.
Indeed, and it depends how long Schumacher's going to go on for, because you can extend this stint, which will give him fresher tyres towards the end of the next stint in comparison to Loeb.
Yep. I don't know exactly if he's gonna run a one-stopper, two-stopper. I think one-stopper might be a bit too optimistic for this track.
Indeed, it definitely didn't work out in Australia, so I can't really see it working out here as well either, because it does really require a lot of that front-end grip through, like the section we're looking at now, through this middle sector.
Yep. That's Gisbergen, yeah, that is Gisbergen we're following, as Michael now jumps into the pits, and Häkkinen.
So, we'll have to see.
So that's better. Have they made the overcut work, or have they been undercutted, as Theo Pocher will now go into provisional provisional first, not pole.
Indeed, and is Christensen. So Christensen staying out and moving up a few positions. Loeb is actually in 4th position. So he's done his pit stop and he's come out in 4th place, so all pretty well there. As we look to Raffaele Marcello, who has got Loeb all over the back of him, so potentially Loeb could be getting held up a bit here by the slower Lotus.
That sounded weird from the engine, was that just me?
It's just sounds a bit burnt to me, you know. The baguette's been in a bit too long.
I told you to change up for this race, but ah well. Oh yeah, there's not much you can really do in terms of upgrades, so.
Wow. You know, we're thinking about going for multi-grain in the upgrade season. Currently just running white bread, but yeah, no, we're thinking multi-grain might have a bit more longevity to it, as we look to Schumacher going up the inside of the McLaren of Leclerc, and Leclerc's holding out around the outside, so as we cut to Porsche.
Yep, I mean, to be fair, this time he had made the move stick. And he will get overtaken by Alonso at the same time.
Alonso steaming up the inside of Leclerc this time. Loeb in 2nd position, who's managed to catch up onto the back of Porsche.
Yep, who has yet to pit.
Yeah, so Porsche potentially rolling the dice and going for that one-stop strategy as we look to Pato O'Ward, who is trying to overtake. It's Marshall, I think it is there, yeah.
That is Marshall, yeah. No, Loeb, that's a very slow BR. Does he have a problem, or is it just one tires?
Well, he's carried on going, so no, I just think that fresher tyres against old tyres, that's the major comparison right there. Is Porsche still, as you can see, just about holding on to the back. As we look at Nick Cassidy, who is in the running for the podium last time out.
Well, again, people getting squeezed into that wall on the inside.
So Schumacher, as a result of pit stops window and how it's all panned out, is 9 seconds off the lead now, so he's lost time as a result of that pit window.
And he has jet, and he needs to pass other people who hasn't pitted yet. So I think Lowe will further extend his lead. Not only with 9 seconds, maybe 10 seconds, I'd argue. He's flying, as we see Marcello trying to make a move on ABRR. But
I believe that's O'Ward, yeah.
yeah, could make it stick, but that was in his defense, that was a very late move by O'Ward. As he punts, O'Ward had enough of his weave-in, tried to send him into barrier.
Yeah, and again, that did look like a possible late move once again from O'Ward, but unlike Rosenquist earlier, the pair of them managed to get back running again.
That was quite a decent save by O'Ward. It's not very often when you get punted in that way that you just end up in the wall, or like I said, barrier.
I'm assuming that has something to do with the Lucky sponsorship on the back. It might have had something to do with it.
Sure, with the Lucky Strike.
Well, did he have a Lucky Strike against the barrier then?
I don't know. Maybe the barrier had a Lucky Strike. I don't know. Unlucky Strike, I meant. Oh, as we see, I think he had to pay the price after that punt. As Alonso himself would have said, karma.
Well, I think there was 50-50 in that instant there with the late weaving, but Marcello out of this race.
The transmission issue. That's the... Now you have to just hope that Alonso doesn't blow up. As we take a look at the two veterans, Vettel and Alonso, speak of which, fighting it out.
Indeed, in Alonso 6th position, yet to stop, I believe. So potentially getting a little bit of a nosebleed in that Lotus being so far up.
Mm-hmm.
And
Raikkonen.
Two things going into turn 1, and Raikkonen makes that move stick on Hakkinen.
Quite easy. I'm pretty sure he said, eh, and now carries on.
There's a car on
blowing
fire
up. Is that? Oh no, that's the other sim tech of Vettel.
So that's Vettel with an engine failure. Not a good day for Simtech.
After after getting a very good start in Straya, now heartbreak with a double DNF and 0 points.
Well, you know, as we've seen by the way the points have gone, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, that is true. But hey, it's still bragging rights.
Yep, indeed. And the Semtech team with after winning the race last time out, a double DNF this time round.
Oh, let's see what happened. I don't think that was weird. No, that was just Marcello making a bonehead move. Tried to go for a gap that didn't exist.
There was a gap there somewhere.
Shut the hell up. Anyway, as we go back to with one of the Finns, with both Finns actually, in the same shot.
And that's Hakkinen repaying the favour from a lap ago.
Yes.
And it looks to be Raikkonen not having the best of exits out of that centre S section. He's got one of the Jordans up the inside now.
Yeah, of Nick Cassidy, I believe. Well, the only Jordans left on the grid after Rosenquist's minor skill issue.
Well, yeah. Managing to get the car stuck in the gravel earlier. There's a little bit of a lock-up I could do from another car ahead. Just up ahead we see catch a glimpse of well, Lewis Hamilton actually holding up this group here. We have a four-way battle for position.
Very even between in the midfields.
Yeah, so this is a battle for 7th position, I believe, with Hamilton at the head of it. And they're quite possibly gaining on Leclerc at this point as well.
Oh, is he gonna make the moves? He is, and he lets both through. I think. Yeah.
Well,
Kinda. No, never mind.
Hakkinen did not want to give that position up there, and Raikkonen still making it back through. As we look to one of the BARs, Lando Norris down in 14th position at the moment, making his way past. Well, it's not.
I think it's Verstappen. Yeah, it is Verstappen.
Yeah,
his good friend.
Schumacher still running in 2nd position.
Third. Well,
third.
Never mind. That is, he is third, but he has Porsche ahead of him, which hasn't pitted, I believe.
Well, it's still showing the gap to Loeb, unless Loeb has actually got the fastest car through the speed trap, unless it's that we're looking at. Yeah, so Porsche is in 2nd at the moment, has dropped 14.5 seconds off of Loeb. I mean, what is going on with Loeb? Where has this pace suddenly come from the Frenchman in the Sauber?
That is a very good question indeed, as we take a look at Raikkonen trying to take back the position of Nick Cassidy.
He's having a look, but in the meantime, unable to make the position, and his teammate having another opportunistic sniff around the back end of the sorry, the Minardi.
What were you gonna say, Alpha Tauri? Or what is it called now? I forgot.
Well, I just had the dial-up tone going in the back of my head because the colour scheme just doesn't register with Minardi, but
yeah, fair enough. As ironically, Raikkonen himself would have said he has that for Cindy or whatever the fuck it's called nowadays. Back in 2017, I believe. No, 2018, I think.
Yeah. And this is Porsche being hunted down by Michael Schumacher and Brabham. And this is going to be pretty much a done deal here. Porsche yet to pit, as that is very close between
Verstappen and Norris. I'm surprised no one has crashed into that barrier yet.
No, it's been very close though.
Oh yeah. Almost every driver had loved to really squeeze in the last second, but this time he can't hold him up anymore.
No, that's a great pass from Norris, and Verstappen, you know, was really showing the side of the circuit there as we cut to Nick Cassidy coming through the Ferragura section as we go into the middle section of the circuit. Cassidy, who finished 2nd last time out.
Yep, it's in 8th. Not as good as a start, but you know, it is what it is. As they say, you can't win every race. Then again, that almost happened last year, so in Formula 1 in real life.
As we look to Schumacher having a look at the inside of the Porsche, and through he goes on Porsche. So we all saw that coming. Porsche still yet to stop, so I'm assuming Porsche is going for a one-stop strategy.
I assume that too. It feels a bit too late for a two-stopper, but he hasn't hit the one-stop window just yet. Or he's make the move on the Minardi. Or at least tried.
Yeah, the Minardi's still there. That's Hakkinen, I believe.
Yes.
Holding off to the two-time world champion against the, well, zero-time race winner.
But what is it, 13 podiums?
Indeed, and the other stat that for another, well, they don't have the best of stats against them really, because you have Leclerc who's in the other McLaren, who I think has got the stat now for most pole positions without a world championship, without a world title.
That is true.
Now.
And I think he's the only driver thus far who has getting disqualified, DNF'd, and did not start from pole.
Indeed, and that's Hill slowing on the start-finish straight. So Hill and the Onyx.
Oh yeah, that's a terrible day for both Onyxes. Oh no.
That sounds like, again, another transmission issue for the Onyx.
This season, it has been strange with transmissions from every team. What are they doing now? Oh god. Who is the crane operator? Why are they going across the track with this?
Well, you know, if it works, I guess. Although not particularly the safest, with our leader Loeb coming straight under the
That
car.
could have ended in a Japanese 2014 scenario.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Yeah, with the difference is that this was ran on the green. I didn't see any double yellow waved yellows, but it might be this camera who's crap at picking up those details.
But yeah, now so we're not looking at Loeb with a 20-second lead. I didn't think I'd be coming into this Grand Prix saying that anytime soon.
No. As we see, Cassidy making a very opportunistic move, but made it stick. I just got a notification about an accusation from the Jordan team principal. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, go ahead.
The Jordan team principal of Topher claims that Onyx has bribed the crane operator to bring it to pit lane for quicker access. What do you have to say about that?
Well, you know, it's means that we can pack up and go home earlier.
That is true. I'm pretty sure they're done here.
Yeah, they're pretty much done and dusted for the weekend, and yeah, rather than waiting around for to the end of the Grand Prix to recover that stricken car, they just wanted it back so they can pack up and go to Buenos Aires as soon as possible, really.
Very much. I just realized there's a bunch of transmission issues for the Onyx runners. You know, Syntec uses Ford engines. Onyx also uses Ford engines.
Well, you know what Ford usually stands for, fails on race day.
I haven't heard about that, but that's a new one. As we see slow Hamilton, and that's a massive impact between him and Cassidy.
That's a huge crash. I've not seen anything like that before, and that's front wing both. Most of that Jordan has now disappeared. Now there's no front wheels. The front nose cone's gone. The rear wing's gone. Hamilton's car, although it seems to be breaking down, what was that? A transmission issue?
Yep.
Was that? Seems relatively unscathed. You wouldn't have thought that it just had a car launch itself over the top of it.
I'm pretty sure Topher will have a word with Sauber and with Hamilton. Let's watch that again. Replay buffer wasn't big enough. I need to again call the camera operators on that one.
Yeah, that's another set of camera. Look at it. Just look at the sheer destruction of that car.
And the entire left side is just gone. But did it look like Hamilton was turning right into Cassidy on purpose or not?
I don't know. I just felt that you know, possibly not done the best to keep out the way, but it was in quite an awkward position. As we look to Paul Chair locking up, it's still in running in third position. Alonso's pitting.
Yep. I'm pretty sure there will be some discussion with the stewards over that incident for both
I think
team
Topher
drivers.
Smith will. Yeah, I think Topher Smith will not be particularly happy with you and Gail over what has just happened. Definitely some choice words going on there, but obviously where one Sauber has faltered, you know, there's the other one's leading, so
yeah, for sure. And okay, that was a strange camera shot. I'm not attracted into marshals, even though that marshal had a big fat dumpy. And I'm also getting another notification from this thing called y.com that Topher again thinks Hamilton should be banned for the next race. And I understand his frustration. Again, double retirement after getting such a good finish last Grand Prix.
yeah, and I think, you know, we'll have to go to a steward's decision. I think it's not on my part to call that, but yeah, I'd say Hamilton could have maybe done a little bit better. But still.
Or was that planned? Who knows?
Who knows? Loeb's still leading the Grand Prix by a country mile and about to lap. Well, Alonso's just came out of pit lane, so hopefully on those fresher tyres, Alonso's going to disappear up the road. Pourchaire still in third, yet to stop, doing a mega stint, and obviously it depends where this is going to lead him out, because he's going to be pitting in a different area or a different, well, time frame compared to the rest of the grid. So when he comes out, he may be stuck behind some of the traffic from these guys, actually, as we have
Raikkonen chasing, is that Norris ahead of him? No, that's Leclerc.
that's Leclerc, and yeah, Raikkonen the meat in the McLaren sandwich here.
His whole team.
Indeed, and well,
They haven't blown up this time though.
not yet. There's still time. As Van Gisbergen pits, and up the inside comes Raikkonen on Leclerc. Now, are we going to have a similar issue as earlier? Because we now have Norris right on the back end of Leclerc once again.
Part 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Indeed, and well, let's see how long it takes for Norris to dispatch Leclerc this time.
Come on, get that McLaren out of the way. I don't know. As Raikkonen himself would have said. They're a bit of a double sandwich, aren't they? Because there's Minardi, McLaren, and then another Minardi of Häkkinen behind them.
Yeah, it's a double whopper this time round.
A double whopper. Is it anything extra with the double whopper?
Well, there's plenty of orange with that whopper at the moment.
I didn't want my whopper to have any dressing on it. God forbid.
What they put fires and onions on it instead of burger sauce.
Pretty much.
They're running low, I think.
I mean, it explains why they're still running that paint scheme.
Well, yeah. What was it? McLaren struggling budget-wise. As Norris has a look down the inside of Leclerc, but Leclerc almost has a double move there. He kind of
moved on the braking.
A little bit naughty there from Leclerc.
Very naughty. Again, normally, had it been two different teams, I'm pretty sure the stewards would be right on it. But I think they're a bit more lenient as they are teammates, as we see him locking up, getting more and more frustrated with the stupid man ahead of him holding him up.
Indeed, and well, Michael Gillespie's not going to be necessarily happily seeing this, as you can see in the background, the old Crusader that is Mika Häkkinen is closing in on these two.
Yes.
here is Schumacher still running in a very lonely second position.
I think he's 19 seconds behind Loeb, which
So
is
he
again.
managed to catch like a best part of a second over the course of many laps, but you know, there's still anything can happen in this Grand Prix. We've already seen one Sauber blow up, so there's still a chance for the second one to go as well.
That is true.
And
I just realized if it so happens that that's Hakkinen slowing.
And that's Hakkinen out. I don't see any. Well, we can't see if there's any smoke coming out the back of this car, but I'm assuming it's going to be another transmission issue.
Yep. We'll have to wait to see.
So,
It looks like it. No,
no, it's an electrical issue.
yeah.
Well, that's a new one.
That is a new one. I thought the saunas were, heated up by fire, not by electricity.
Wow. So that's taken the pressure off of the Leclerc-Norris situation a little bit. They were battling into that corner of Scuderia Largo, but we didn't quite see the director cut away to Hakkinen to see what was going on with Hakkinen, so it'd be interesting to see. Schumacher's pulled out nearly 15 seconds on Porsche, who's still yet to stop.
I'm surprised the VARs haven't had a single electrical issue, considering they are both aura powered, as we see Leclerc is entering the pits. Aura haven't had any experience previously with the any internal combustion. I think I've said it last last Grand Prix, the same thing, but again, I thought I would see much more of it. Like,
yeah, obviously. And that's Norris going slow, so
all that work for nothing.
all that work, obviously Leclerc's just
Entered
pitted.
pit.
And Norris, once again, retires from the Grand Prix. So 2 retirements for Norris this season.
Oh, there was some fire.
And there was fire, so that's an engine gone again, oil leak.
Another McLaren Mercedes fire. That's hardly surprising.
No, it could potentially be a regular occurrence as the season goes on.
Yeah. But man, the attrition rate this time compared to Australia, almost pretty much half the field is wiped out.
Indeed, and no one is particularly safe as it appears to be.
Oh no. Racing God has not been particularly nice to the teams and drivers this time around.
Definitely not, and we are looking. Well, Schumacher's actually pulled down. Actually, no, that's just the gap to Porsche, which is obviously going to be extended. Now we have the 2 Tyrrells battling each other, and that's actually Van Gisbergen going past Verstappen.
That is quite surprising. Again, it didn't look like Verstappen were fighting him that much, which is, again, uncharacteristic. First bad, qualifying. He's normally quite good at that, but now he doesn't fight his teammates, which is very, very rare. I haven't seen him doing that before, ever.
No, and well, we're looking at the period where we're expecting. He hasn't done a second stop yet, though, has he? That's low. So
Neither Christensen or Porsche have done their second stop. Or their first stop, sorry.
no, so be interesting to see how Porsche gets on. He's going to drop back because he's now Raikkonen's closed the gap even more. It's down to just about 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Still trundling along in a solid second.
Indeed, and that is Leclerc after his pit is on the back of Verstappen.
We gave him the squeeze. 46 out of 72. Starting to head towards the end.
Yep, and there is the third place Teo Porcher, who's still yet to stop. So when is he going to do this first stop?
I don't know. Both him and Christensen has to stop. I mean, I get it with Christensen, you know, being a former well, he's not called Mr. Le Mans for nothing. You know, in those long endurance races, I'm pretty sure you need to be good at both tire saving and fuel saving whenever you can. I don't think Porcher have had the same luxury though, has he?
No, obviously Porcher only having his experience in junior formula so far. And you know, junior formula, the races aren't as long, so although they do have to deal with pit stops, tire management isn't as big a deal.
No, for sure. But as we saw confirmation earlier that Christensen is pitting, as they have. Are they still trying to figure it out? What has happened?
Marshall's just getting a bit bored on that post and starting to move Hamilton's car about a bit by the looks of things.
We know what happens if someone with unauthorized touches the rear wing of a Formula 1 car, especially in Brazil.
Yeah, I'm assuming the Marshall will have to go to the stewards after that.
Yep, well, there goes £50,000 down the drain for nothing.
I think the placement of the car was affecting the Feng Shui, so
who knows? Who knows? I sadly don't have the answer. As we see the man who ruined World Rally Championship still leading.
It's always something to do with someone being called Sebastian during that, 2010 to 2015 period. If it wasn't,
it was earlier. I think
if it,
Loeb won 04, then wait, 04, 05, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He won it from 2004 to 2012, and then it was Seb Ogier, or
exactly.
Ogier as someone else calls him. Was it up until 2019 when Oyt Tanak finally broke the curse?
Yeah, as Raikkonen's pitted, but during that period of time, you basically had someone called Sebastian was winning the championship, whether it be Sebastian Vettel in Formula 1 or Sebastian Buemi in Formula E, or Sebastian Buemi in World Endurance Championships.
Hang on. Oh, I'm getting some calls that apparently the crane operator had somehow crashed the crane into Onyx's pit box. So we are witnessing a bit of a sports car moment, if you remember. Oh, finally.
Yeah, here we go. They've managed to get the crane back, and where are they exactly taking that car? I don't know.
To the scrapper? I don't know.
Yeah, challenge.
Yeah, I heard that was the replacement crane. They tried to repair the ones, but it took forever. So yeah, but if I wasn't there when it happened, I've heard stories about it. So, Riot, can you tell me what I'm referring to when it comes to the sports cars incident?
That was goodness. I know of the incident. In fact, I remember watching the as we're looking at Ricks Vico being overtaken by, I think that was a Lotus, but it's gone far too fast past that car, so it surely can't be a Lotus. Yeah, we had a little bit of an incident during the Group C championship, which involved a car being... well, one of the cars broke down at the final corner, and the crane operator, I think, fell asleep halfway through removing the car from the scene of the incident, and so the car was left stranded, suspended over the track for the rest of the Grand Prix. As this is Sebastian Loeb being harassed by Raikkonen, I think that is.
I'm pretty sure that was Raikkonen. As we cut back to Michael, I think he was trying to unlap himself, but considering the pace of that Sauber, once he gets his second pit stop in, I think he will be just gone again.
Indeed, and Raikkonen up the inside into Bing Chow, and
that's compromised his exit now.
Indeed, and he's got one of the Brabhams as Loeb comes into the pits, and that's
Gisbergen.
Randy Gisbergen having a look at
Raikkonen,
but Raikkonen holds on to the centre. Patrick Woods just pitted as well.
Finally. Or do you mean Porsche?
Well, Pourchaire's not pitted yet, I don't think.
Still hasn't pitted. Okay.
No,
How big are the fuel tank? Jesus Christ.
Wow, that's another potential investigation ahead, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But Pourchaire's lost a position to Alonso, so I assume he's pitted.
Sorry, we had a bit of action going on while you were talking about. So the crane operator fell asleep halfway through.
Yes, and the car was left suspended over the last corner for the rest of the Grand Prix, or the entire Group C race. So it was interesting.
All I remember was reading the news headline of it, and my god, the first page was just Chef's Kill's brilliance.
Yeah, and it's I remember that Grand Prix quite well because one of my cars was leading the race and was going and ran out of fuel. So that was also a fun moment in the my Grand Prix management career.
But that is quite unfortunate. But let me guess, were you using baguette powered back then as well?
No, we were running Dorito power with rotary engines at that point.
Oh really? That's cool. Group C, so they allowed it.
Yeah. So yeah, we were having spinning Doritos powering our cars back then, and when they actually finished, they were quite fast, but yeah, they were a bit temperamental as well.
How were the Apex seals?
They weren't particularly steely towards the end of the race. If Pourchaire has a look up the inside of Alonso,
Can't make a stick.
Indeed, doesn't make it stick. And Pourchaire,
maybe this time.
Pretty sure Pourchaire has now pitted on the fresher rubber against the slower Lotus, but then at the same time, no, Alonso unable to hold on, unable to do his heroics like he was against Perez last season.
Indeed. Then again, I think he's playing the smart game, he is in a decent position, and with all his experience, he won't, try to go for some, stupid move, as we see Lowe has made the fastest lap.
Yep, fastest lap, obviously fresh tire, fresh rubber, potentially running, although they would have had some degree of refueling. This stint being shorter, they wouldn't have as much as as much fuel on board as they would for the start of the Grand Prix.
Oops, I lock up for Rennes VK. I was scared at first. I thought it was another water leak, but no.
Well, I mean that wouldn't at all be characteristic of a Renault. It's not as if their old nickname was the steaming teapot.
No, for sure. Is that Christensen like at the back of Verstappen, I believe? Yes, it is.
And a fairly easy move. Now, Verstappen, probably the most uncharacteristic person in this race at the moment. He's very much been after you, Claude, when getting challenged into turn 1 this weekend. I don't know if maybe for some reason he's coming together with Ocon a few years ago has sparked some memories, and that he thinks I'd rather finish this race than get tangled up in this Senna S section. I don't know.
No one knows. But all I know for sure is that, just like last time in Straya, he might be forced to walk home back to the airport.
Indeed. Obviously, at least it helps with the fitness and getting the step count up on the daily 10,000 steps or whatever it is nowadays. As we look at Grand Prix, and actually getting past, I think that was one of the Minardis just then.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize that Michael is leading, and not Loeb.
Well, it's because
But wait,
Loeb's catching after his pit stop, I believe.
Yeah.
And Raikkonen's pitting again. Is this a third pit stop for Raikkonen?
there must have been some kind of mechanical issue. I suspect. Oh no, yeah, he's past. Yeah, never mind. He's past now, with Michael pitting.
Indeed. So yeah, Raikkonen on either an issue or he's on a scheduled 3 stop, which is an odd one.
Very odd. I mean, I've heard worse. I've heard of 4 stoppers, or yeah.
Pourchaire still going on strong with the 1-stop strategy. 3rd place. This is potentially the best. The 1-stop strategy did not work for Piastri last time out, but it definitely seems to be working for Pourchaire this time out.
Oh, for sure, as you see, Christensen is... No, he doesn't make a move. I think he's just there to psych Leclerc.
Indeed, and Christensen's really working up this race. He's harassing Leclerc, which we wouldn't have thought of seeing as well.
Lap 56. Only 16 laps left of this rather, I'd say, just so far the Grand Prix has been, I'd say, quite easy, even though the attrition rate has been very high.
It's very, very, very high. I mean, we did expect to see high attrition rates because of the high altitude and high ambient temperatures. It's definitely something we expected to see, but not as much as this.
Oh no, for sure. Look at that, 29 seconds from Loeb to Michael.
Yes, and as I said already, we did not expect to see this sort of performance from Loeb, and in such dominant fashion as well. Obviously, there's still plenty of time left in this Grand Prix, but 29-second advantage with Sebastian Loeb behind the wheel.
Also, keep in mind, he is currently multitasking. He is racing, and he is at the Dakar, I believe.
Wow, yeah, and Also, must be difficult having to go around the circuit without having someone giving you pace notes. I'm amazed he hasn't got lost yet. But
Raikkonen 2012 moment.
well, it was at this corner in Zhengzhou where that happened.
Mhm.
So indeed was definitely I've forgotten about that moment actually.
And as Michael take back his fastest lap.
So Schumacher's found some pace in his second stint.
Speaking of pace notes, you know, I hope he's listening to the pit calls, so he's not breaking the car.
Well, yeah. Well, his name is Tammy, so I think he's alright.
Yes, as Christensen tries to make a move on Leclerc. Has he made it this time? No! But to be fair, turn 1 is quite tricky to overtake because first you have the inside and then you will have to go the long way around.
But well, by the looks of things there, actually the Brabham managed to get ahead of Leclerc. So, because Leclerc was having to fight back into the Skido de Lago. Loeb with well, for a moment then, the timing screen was having a bit of a meltdown. I was going to say 50-second advantage, but no, it's a 28-second advantage.
Yeah. He's gained 8/10 this lap. Is it enough? No, that still won't be enough to catch Loeb. Because
no, unless something dramatic happens to Loeb's Sauber. The Mugen Honda powered Sauber, so hasn't got the potential joys or hope of the Ford engine or gearbox giving up the ghost like it has up now in most of the cars this race, as Christensen's having a look at Leclerc.
Weaving, and this time it goes through.
Yeah, goes through again on Leclerc. Leclerc having a bit of a last minute weave there, and the stewards would really look too kindly on that.
Maybe today's stewards. I don't think stewards over here cares about that. I just calls it hard racing, whatever.
And the gap's still coming down again, but I mean we haven't really got enough laps for any major upsets in terms of Schumacher catching.
Possibly if Loeb gets, you know, held up by other lapped cars. Or, well, when he's trying to lap cars. Award with a dive bomb on is that Verstappen? Yes, it was.
Yeah, so that's 9th place now, that's award.
Look at the bright side, it would be, I'm pretty sure there is now he is in a good chance for a guaranteed top 10 finish, Verstappen.
Well, both Terribles now running in the top 10.
Mind you, there's only 11 runners, but hey, top 10 is a top 10, as we see.
Oh,
no! Oh, he was the only one who could possibly catch up Loeb, and he is out of the race with transmission errors.
Yeah, and
oh, what a shame.
tough luck for the Brabham team. Like you said, on for the chance of a possible win if anything was to happen to Loeb, but it definitely looked like a nailed-on second position. But now that means that well, all the top 10, well, anyone who finishes will finish within the top 10 now because we've only got 10 minutes left.
Pretty much. But yeah, again, after all he's been through, getting pole, then might not get the best start, but again, running it like in a guaranteed podium, and then just have the engine let go, well, transmission let go.
DK in fourth position. I haven't really seen much, but also that means the one stop. Teo Porcher is running in second position at the moment.
I think most of the field has, funnily enough, one stopped, and the only one who's on an alternative strategy is, well, the leader.
Indeed, and well, Kimi Räikkönen is showing us taking 3 stops so far. The third stop, well, we're unsure whether or not that was strategy or if there was some sort of technical issue that caused him to come in the third time. But after all this, we have a Lotus in third position.
That's a nice third place you've got there.
For the moment.
Would be a shame if it's, you know, something would happen to the East.
Well, it usually does.
In a good or bad way.
Bad way. Porsche with the number 1 plate. Wow. Currently the reigning Formula 2 champion now.
Why did it go for him afterwards? Did he end up getting a seat in any other like open wheel racing series? Or is that it?
As far as I'm aware, I mean, you could correct me if I'm wrong. I think he's going to Super Formula for.
Is that Super Formula?
Yeah. At least he has tested for it, I think.
Alright. So he'll be racing along Liam Lawson? Or
Yeah, I think so. Liam Lawson, and I think there may be 1 or 2 others in there that have also tested.
yeah. Was it Mika Salo who drove there for quite a bit, or am I remembering it wrong?
I'm not sure off the top of my head. I know that we had the likes of Kaz Nakajima. Well, Kamui Kobayashi still races in the championship at the moment.
Oh really?
Yeah. And we also had other people like Heikki Ryland go and take part in it for a bit.
Maybe I was mixing Kovalainen with, you know, Salo.
Yeah, we had some, well, fairly large names either drop out of Grand Prix racing and find themselves at home in the Super Formula paddock, and quite a lot of them actually both take part in the Super Formula and the Super GT Championship at the same time.
That's cool. Now, do you think Loeb will be able to lap the entire field or not?
Not entirely sure. I'm going to say no. The other thing that I'd probably be wondering is is Loeb actually into this, or is the car going to go bang? I mean, it is a Honda engine, so I mean, the last retirement we had was also a Honda engine, but some 42-second of that advantage, no, 37-second of that advantage over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if the Honda power would go boom.
Well, it's not unheard of.
That is true, but as it looks right now, his V-Tech surely has kicked in.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, I have this bit of this thinker. If it so happens that Hamilton gets disqualified, like banned for the next race due to his, incident with Cassidy earlier,
Yeah.
then and with Loeb at this rate will win the race, what will happen with the second driver?
I'm not entirely sure because obviously their driver in reserve for Sauber is Joseph Newgarden, who, by the looks of things, is for sure if there is a potential disqualification or race ban for Lewis Hamilton, will be stepping foot in that Sauber, but also, like you were alluding to, they are in a little bit of a predicament here because if Loeb does go on to win this Grand Prix, that means he has to sit out next Grand Prix as well. So I think Sauber have got a bit of a head scratcher on at the moment.
The regulations say for the moment that they can only pick one reserve driver, not two.
Indeed, so we're going to have to, either apply to another team manager to borrow their reserve driver for a Grand Prix, or they're going to have to, put their hand in the hat and pull out a name from the pool of drivers that haven't been used at the moment.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. Oh, hang on. I think I'm actually getting that question now answered by the RPRI officials. Hang on. Hello? Okay. Alright. Oh, sorry. Oh. Ah, I see. Right, that's a great solution. Thank you. So I got it confirmed. It turns out that the organizers themselves for this series have their own pool of reserve drivers should a situation like this happen.
Okay, right.
So that's good news. The bad news is for, you and Gail, is that, how would I say, these drivers are infamous, but for wrong reasons.
They're not necessarily gifted and talented.
It's Ricardo Tosser. Who'll be forced to race in Hamilton's car should he get disqualified and banned for next race.
Not even a Wheel of Fortune that has the likes of Taki Nui and Co. I mean, even
Co.
Gunfen and all them lot.
Yeah, maybe. Or if he's no, this time I think it is predetermined. I think he could technically sub himself in as an owner driver.
So you're telling me that Ewan Gale could sub himself in as a driver?
Yes, the rules say that as long as the driver is 18 and, well, obviously alive, minimum 18 and alive, they can race. They don't have to. They don't need to necessarily have a history of racing. Just again, they are minimum of 18.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I mean, I know you can drive a car quite quickly, so you could theoretically sub yourself for either Alonso or what's it called? Marcello. Yeah. Now we're on our favorite lap number.
Nice.
Very nice.
So lap 69, and it is still Sebastian Loeb leading by, well, pretty much half a lap over Teo Porcher.
He's brought the curse to this series, son of a bitch. Anyway, so yeah, but what do you say about that idea with the drivers?
Ah, well, it could definitely, well, it could be interesting. At least there's possibility that Verstappen won't be towards the back anymore as a result, but we'll have to see how that plays out for the team. I'm guessing at this point, well, I don't know what Youngie will be keeping his fingers crossed for, either a Loeb win or a Loeb retirement.
That is true. That is true. To be fair, if he wins, he will get a fair amount of cash.
Yeah, and cash is king in this day and age. And with the upgrade window coming soon, I think that for sure maybe taking the hits of having a poor race next time out, seeing as well how open things are with this championship in the early stages. Yeah, it might not be necessarily bad.
Oh damn, huh. That's interesting. Even though Raikkonen have been forced to make 3 stops, he's still ahead of Verstappen.
Yeah, Verstappen still struggling with that Tyrrell. Van Gisbergen's definitely adapted to that Tyrrell, well, a bit better than Verstappen, but still the Tyrrell struggling a little bit as Van Gisbergen, well, 7th position, so still okay. I mean, there are only 10 cars still running in this race.
I mean, that's why you can only compare yourself to your teammate.
Indeed.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe if that the Tyrrell has more understeer than most other cars. I don't know.
But well, the car to be in at the moment has got to be that Sauber.
Yeah.
Still just ridiculous pace.
Unless something again catastrophically happens now on the upcoming last lap, I believe.
And well, I mean, I think the next car in shot behind Alonso is actually Loeb.
Yeah.
So Loeb almost lapping the entire field.
Yep. Well, he has lapped, I think. Has he lapped up until 4th place or 3rd place? I can't remember. I wasn't quick enough to see the current positions.
And there's a car slowing in up ahead by the looks of things.
No, it's accelerating. Yeah, I heard it too at first, but no, it doesn't seem like there's anything wrong with it.
So, this is the last lap time, is it?
I think so. As we get a shot of Porsche, funnily enough. And I believe he should be crossing the finish line anytime soon. And this has to be one of the few moments when we don't get to see the winning car in the camera shot.
Yeah, Sebastian Loeb, you know, dominated most of his rallying career and has truly dominated this race as Alonso goes over the start-finish straight and, well, Loeb's just behind.
I think that should be it. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Loeb crosses the line, wins the race, and
crushes every hope and dream of the other drivers and team managers.
Yeah, and I think you're gonna have to be getting on Indeed.com again and vetting some new camera crew because once again we've the race winner coming over the line.
That's a first. Maybe the camera operator was so, you know, done with Loeb, having to, you know, endure the French Sebastian dominance for so long. He said, "Nope, you ain't getting the TV time."
But Sebastian Loeb, we're still not actually doing that. That is working. Ah, here we go. We're finally on board the race winner's car, Sebastian Loeb. The medium Honda Sauber. And absolutely demolished the field by, well, best part half a lap from second position Teo Pocher.
Now, the more I think we were right that he left everyone that wasn't on the podium. So, the final standings. Loeb obviously won, with Theo Pocher in second and Fernando Alonso rounding up the podium. And no, he didn't lap everyone. Per Ward and Tom Christensen were the only two guys who didn't get lapped. Everyone else got lapped, and there we also have the entire retirement list. If the guy behind this decides to scroll down, that is.
I think.
I think he fell asleep. Oh, there we go. I thought at first he had fallen asleep or gotten a stroke or something.
I was about to say you got 5 seconds back.
I didn't do it. It's the guy behind this. It's not a camera operator. It's definitely not my problem. But there we go. Again, a bunch of transmission issues.
Yeah, and they were the buzz of the paddock last time out, and again, transmission issues being a major issue this Grand Prix, particularly with the Ford-powered cars.
Strangely enough, and as we can take a look at who had the fastest lap, at least Brabham and Michael Schumacher got that. Only by a slight margin, though. But yeah, that was pretty much it for this Grand Prix, and stay tuned for the next one, which will be, like I said, in Buenos Aires, here in South America. Thank you, and so long.